Welcome to the Tactical Dent Tech Podcast. You are now part of a small underground movement of dent technicians from all over the world. We are on a mission to change our industry with innovation, intelligence, and skill. But because we don't rely on an insurance company to steer customers our way, we need to do things different. We need to do things smarter. We do that through a network of technicians that we call the Tactical Tech Movement. Now let's get this revolution started.
Hey, what's happening, everybody? John Hiley here, chilling with Angela Hiley at the Tactical Dent Tech Podcast. And she's putting on her headphones right as she's hearing the cue, the beeping going on.
You're a turd.
So she's evil eyeing me over here because I just jumped right into it.
Yes.
I was like, these people cannot wait any longer, girl.
And I'm like, John Hiley needs an ass whooping.
Like, you're going to do it, and you're going to do it now.
I'm going to beat you good.
Yeah. So anyhow, guys, we're going to talk about a little something today. A little something actually I've been thinking about. I mean, this is definitely a little bit along the marketing lines, a little bit along the personal lines. So there's definitely a really cool post that came up in our group this last week.
Oh.
And it was a gentleman kind of like asking people like, we are in this dent removal business, what the hell are you guys doing with your money? Mm-hmm. What are we doing to grow your money? What are you doing to, save, invest? What's happening here? And a lot of dent technicians, it appears, the smart ones are into real estate.
Yeah.
There was a lot of them that talked about different investments. And we were talking about Jeff Reeb, who has a finance group. I think it's called, correct me if I'm wrong, it may be PDR. Correct me if I'm wrong, Zan. But it is, I think it's PDR Finance Group.
He's a nice guy.
Yeah, Jeff's a good guy, and he is I don't know. I think he's a financial advisor or something like that. And but anyhow, he's been really on top of helping a lot of dent technicians out. I think he was doing some things at one point where he's doing some videos of his stocks. Where they were going, where he was buying, how they were going up, just all kinds of cool shit like that.
Yeah.
But that's the one thing you guys got to understand. So we're in what's called a treadmill business, okay? So basically meaning when you start the business, you either keep on fucking running or you don't eat, okay? Yeah. So it's like jumping on a treadmill. When you're off the treadmill, you're off. When you're on the treadmill, you know what I mean? You're actually making money. So that could pose a problem because obviously we all get fucking older. Right?
Yeah.
As sad as that sounds.
It's not that bad.
Well, sure. But I mean, it is bad because you got to work your ass off till the day you die. Mm-hmm. Or do what we're talking about today, talking about saving, talking about at least opening up the conversation about investments, because there is different business models. I mean, there's business models that are more front loaded, There's things that you do a lot of shit up front and then they last for a long time thereafter, know. And then there's business models that, again, it's just like what we do here are treadmill models. Now, there are, treadmill models that actually exist and they maintain more as a front-loaded business model if you systemize them, okay? And one of the books that I read back in the day that really compelled me to almost drove me crazy because I realized how unorganized I was. And still to this day, I am actually. It's actually something that I'm looking to become much, much more better at putting systems in place. Okay, again, front-loading the systems in place so that way I can take it easy on the back end. So in a sense, that's doing all the work up front. So you can take it a little easier. I'm an organized person,
but I think I can be more organized. I know I can because there's some little areas that I slack in.
Well, I think automating a lot of our stuff, like the emails and stuff like that, and putting things on automation is really the key.
I'm just gonna blame you because you're the one that's like so unorganized, and then I gotta try to organize everything.
Right. Yeah. Okay. So that's probably it. But
I'm like, please, Jesus, help me, Jesus.
You know what it is? It's because I'm always in the now. I'm always looking for an exciting adventure.
Yes, yeah.
And I'm always looking for something to happen now.
And I'm like, let's focus on this first.
Sometimes
then we'll move to this.
Yeah, sometimes I just walk around from thing to thing to thing.
Yeah, and I'm like, what the fuck is going through his head?
So I'm
there's
looking
a lot
for
of
some
good
excitement.
stuff, but there's a lot of good stuff that's going on in your head. It's just, I swear though, some people, they could sit here for a good 5-10 minutes and watch you do all this shit, and they're just like, what the fuck is he doing?
Yeah.
What is going through that man's head?
Yeah, it's pretty erratic. So it's just the way my mind is. But I am going to get better at systemizing things. That's like a big thing I'm going to put on myself. And I'm going to do it because I kind of hate it. That's why I don't do it, obviously, because I hate the structure. So I'm going to have to do this thing where literally I got this app on my phone and I turn it on for 25 minutes and just go fucking Hails Mary like on this shit.
That's your treat thing, isn't it?
Well, no. What you do is you just go like crazy, and then afterwards I'm sitting here thinking like, I have to do this before I get a Bang energy drink.
So you're rewarding yourself.
Yeah, so it's kind of like tricking your mind. What you actually do.
I do that all the time.
Yeah. I mean, because we only move towards pleasure or away from pain naturally. And so if we can actually trick our mind to feel like we're moving towards pleasure when we're doing something we hate.
Exactly.
Well, that's the big thing about having a giant goal or a vision in your head of like where you're going.
Yeah.
Or what you want to do. Of course, my vision in my head, I'm the greatest marketer in the world. And as long as everything that I'm doing today is getting me to that destination, it doesn't matter because if I'm shoveling shit, as long as it's getting me to my destination and I'm holding that vision in my mind and I'm saying I have to shovel this shit to get through this to get to there.
I've never seen you shovel shit. I pick up shit.
Well, that's an example. That's why we use...
I know, but when you were saying that, I was referring to it. I was like, I pick up shit all the time. And I'm like, you know what, Angela? You do this, you get this.
So as long as she shovels shit, I'm going to get there. So...
Yes.
But that being said, guys, a little bit about the E-Myth. One of the things that really got me sparked about this, we got this, against contrary belief, or against my contrary, making fun of Woody for going to Planet Fitness and, actually going there. It says like all these machines say no intimidation and no critics. So I used to
go to Planet Fitness now.
Exactly. So I go to Planet.
Wait a minute. How long have
you know
been
why?
going?
Because it's a fucking country club.
The one that we go to.
The one that we go to. I got a black card membership. It's like this brand new one they built. Like, I walked in there, y'all, and I was like, all I see was, oh.
How long have we been doing this? How long have we been going?
It's been a couple months, I'd say.
Has it been two? Almost
Probably
2 months?
Yeah.
But we've been going at the butt crack of dawn.
Yeah, but see, I'm looking like, what I do when I go into places, guys, is I reverse engineer all their marketing, right? So the first thing I go in there and I see they have a compelling offer, right? It's like $10 a month, okay?
Yeah.
But they immediately have all this value to get you to the $22 level.
Yeah.
Which is still fucking stupid cheap considering.
Yeah, because it's only like 23 something with taxes.
Yeah. So, and considering that you literally have a massage chairs, you got these massage, water massage, hydro massage, you got tanning, you got the special area. They frame it as the black card, which we all know was P. Diddy was the first that talked about his black American Express card.
Yeah.
That had no limit, right? And I'm sitting here like all the fucking marketing that's put into this, and I'm looking at shit like, motherfucker, the wallpaper is custom. It's to Planet Fitness. I'm sitting here like she sees me touching the signs when I'm in there because I'm like, what is this made out of?
I thought it was made out of tissue paper.
Right? And it's made out of cloth and it's got a backlight on it, so they stretch cloth on these boxes. And I'm sitting here looking at like the lighting and I'm like, this is fucking milled out metal just around a regular bulb.
What is that? Is that their statement?
Their thumbs up thing?
No, the whole thing like that.
Yeah, they put their mission statement up there.
Statement, yeah.
And from the second fucking floor balcony, I'm not shitting you guys, this Planet Fitness is insane.
I know, it's super nice.
From the second floor balcony, I'm touching this sign that's way up high. And I'm looking at it, I'm like, dude, they're stretching cloth and they're backlighting it. And I'm like, how easy would that be to build? And I'm sitting here like going through my mind and I'm like,
they keep it really clean.
I'm like, this place is like man, like if you would compare, this place is just as much as organized and systemized as like a Starbucks.
Yeah.
But
I don't know if all Planet Fitnesses are like that.
Right, because some of them are owned individually, and I would imagine that's when the fucking rules start slipping.
Yeah.
Because, apparently, I don't know, I'm sitting here doing the math in my head, and I'm like, these motherfuckers put $500,000 in this.
Yeah.
And they're probably cracking a $14,000 to $20,000 a month bill. And that's probably not including electricity, insurance, and all this shit. And I'm looking at all of it, and I'm trying to calculate the numbers in my head, and blah, blah, blah. And I'm sitting here thinking, wow, I mean, I can see how corporate could run something because corporate is making all their fucking franchise money off their franchise holders.
Yeah.
But I'm like, if a franchise holder's location doesn't hit, that's going to be the biggest fucking money siphon you've ever seen.
Yeah.
You know? But, you know, that's usually why places like McDonald's, places like Planet Fitness, definitely McDonald's. I think McDonald's is the point where you got to have a $10 million net worth just to get into their franchise. So they go through the books and make sure you motherfucking better have $10 million backing you.
I always remember you saying something like they were always known to have like the cleanest bathrooms or something of that nature.
Originally, they were supposed to.
You know, the bathrooms are nasty.
Yeah, that was supposed to be their cardinal thing, and now they are. They're disgusting.
I know they are.
I used to love taking an old poop in a McDonald's bathroom.
Yeah.
But now that's like my last choice. That's emergency only. That's running in one of them ones where like you feel like if you had 2 more seconds on the time clock, you were done. Yeah. You shit yourself.
I don't know why it always goes there with us.
Yeah, I don't know. Everybody's been there, though, so that's why everybody's laughing about it.
Yeah, everybody can relate.
But that being said, so we're talking about something, you know, and I'm granted, okay, so Planet Fitness is going to be easier to systemize, right? And usually, I have never, like, any Planet Fitness I've ever been into, because I did have a membership briefly at the other one across town. It's not as nice, apparently. They're getting a lot of bad Google reviews. Mm-hmm. But I've been in that Planet Fitness when it was nice, and I've never met the fucking owner of the place, because they design these franchises to be a hands-off ownership. Yeah. Which I love because, I mean, a lot of times, you know, you get older folks that got a lot of money, or some dude that's got a lot of money needs, or girl or whatever. So they got a lot of money they need to wrap up in something, and they look at it more as an investment. So these companies are so well systemized. They got everything down from the management protocol down to how many employees they need, you know, down to every single aspect of that business is broke down in, you know, what we would call kind of like a front-loaded experience. Because think about it. These investors dump $500,000, whatever, into this location. Yeah. So it's all front-loaded with money. And then you churn your investment, okay, over time. Mm-hmm. So over time, it's not a treadmill. You don't have to, as an owner, you don't have to keep running on it. But we are not in that situation as dent removal technicians. Now, there's some companies that are getting there, but it's far from saying that there's a lot of companies that have owners that are completely offhand. Yeah. Or completely hands-off. And really, it's because the requirement of the type of labor that we need to perform this and to perform it right is so intense that it's very, very hard to do in this industry. Yeah. It's not scalable. Like literally, if you go to Shark Tank, you put your business up on Shark Tank, they're trying to calculate how scalable your business is. I would guarantee you Mark Cuban, Mr. Wonderful, the lady, whatever the lady is, the other guy that's on there, Lori Grenier, and then whoever that other guy is, Robert, blah, blah, blah. They would not touch our business model with a fucking 10-foot pole because you can't hire monkeys to do it. Yep. You know?
They say no thank you.
But that being said, it's not that it can't be done because I've seen it done. I mean, you guys know I manage people's websites. I manage some pretty big companies. I see this thing being scaled. It's a lot easier to scale in a hail damage situation where you bring in technicians as subcontractors and have them work for you just because guys don't know how to sell at all.
It's it's just not their thing. You know what I'm saying?
Sure. It's a lot easier to scale in that aspect than a standalone business that's training their own in-house technicians. Yeah. It's just ridiculous. It takes too long to train people, you know? Yep. And in my opinion, a lot of people think the market's flooded. I don't think so. I could walk into any fucking market in the country and be in business like that. I see all these holes that nobody's filling in these markets, like every market. Mm-hmm. And I truly believe there's a way to fill each and every market easily, you know? So I don't believe it's saturated at all. I don't believe it ever will be for me. I just have a abundance mentality, which I recommend you fucking look into having.
Do you think that that's just an excuse that people are just saying?
It's an excuse. It's people giving up. It's people giving up because, you know, it's like, okay, so you say your market's saturated. Well, what the fuck are you doing to make yourself stand out above and beyond and your competitors in your market? What are you doing? When you ask them that, they're like, oh, well, you know, I got a website. Well, does it look like shit? Does it rank on Google? Are you what are you doing? You know what I mean? There's somebody in your market that's successful. If somebody out there is successful, then you don't have an excuse. So if there's literally, so that's my phone. Oh. So literally, if there's somebody in your market that's successful, you don't have a fucking excuse. You're lying to yourself. You're full of shit. You are full of shit. Okay? And I'm just telling you guys that flat out. You're not willing to put in the hard work that it takes to learn how to connect with your ideal market. You're not willing to do it. So
it's how bad do you want it?
It's how bad do you want it? But that being said, I'm love hearing this stuff about, because I know a lot of you guys are successful. A lot of the guys I talk to are really successful.
Yeah.
And, some of you guys are starting out, and I hope you listen to my words here and you don't get fucking mind fucked by the negative assholes out there that are talking on boards, and the people that live in scarcity rather than abundance. You don't get mind fucked by them.
That's like,
you'll be all right.
Wouldn't that be considered like the white noise?
Yeah, it's a negative energy.
Yeah.
Stay the fuck away from negative bullshit, man. Stay away from negative energy.
Yes.
And that being said, we got to start looking at our business as something like that, right? So maybe we're not ever going to be scalable like Starbucks, and we're not ever going to be scalable like Planet Fitness, but do we want to deliver a great experience to the client each and every time we work with them? Mm-hmm. Do we want a predictable experience? Do we want to be able to be in contact with them much quicker, much more, schedule them with as little effort as possible? Mm-hmm. Do we want to make the process easy as possible? Fuck yeah.
Yes.
Do we want to be, the cool thing about branding is that I love about it, you literally pick a few colors, you pick a few, you got a logo, and there you go. Right there's all your advertisement in a box. Every video you make has your colors, it has your logo, it has everything on it. You start color coordinating and making things, look very, very presentable in that way and in that manner. So you can walk into any Starbucks, you can walk into any Planet Fitness, you can walk into just about any good franchise, and you can look around and you can begin discovering things that they're doing right.
They got their signature colors.
Yeah. Apply that shit to what you do. You walk into Planet Fitness, they got their fucking mission statement on the wall, and you like what they're doing, you like what they're out there making shit happen, whatever. Apply that shit to the things that you do and, work on systemizing. In a book that I actually read that I want to give you guys resources because, look, I can talk a little bit of shit about this, but I'll be honest with you, like I told you at the beginning, I'm trying to get better at it. So that being said, it's E-Myth Revisited, which the E-Myth is honestly, it'll strike home for a lot of you guys because truly, most of us don't run a business, we run a job. Mm-hmm. And that's just the truth of the matter. When you run a business, you usually work on your business. You're not working in your business,
Yeah.
And when you build a business, it's usually a business that has some good longevity. So that's why I love the conversation about this, because a lot of us are never going to be at the point to where we're running a business. We're going to be in a very fucking high-paying job. Well, being in a very high-paying job, you got to figure out what to do with a portion of that money. So I love that we were having these conversations about the financial aspects. We're having conversations about what people are investing in, getting some ideas, because literally you're looking at real estate. That's a front-loaded business model. Mm-hmm. The more money you put tenants and stuff like that in homes, let's say you don't want to manage it. I was talking to Wasfi, who is big into real estate. There's companies out there who manage, they specialize in managing your homes for you. And kind of what you're doing in that aspect, from my understanding, I don't really get into a lot of real estate, but from what you're doing, from my understanding, is that when they're paying the payments at the beginning of a loan, how this works, all the interest gets paid up front. So the more years that you're into that loan, more interest gets paid and more principal gets paid. So for instance, if you get a 30-year loan, and let's say you make the exact payment for 30 years, well, on year 15, 50% of that is actually going to principal, and then 50% of that is going to interest, okay? But on year one, 90% of it goes to interest.
Yeah.
And 10% of it goes to principal. Do you see what I'm saying? And as you get further into it, deeper into it, when you're in year 25, you're looking at 75% going to your principal and, your actual equity, and then, the 25% of it going to interest and so on. So your last payment is maybe $10 interest or some shit like that. And the rest of it actually goes to principal. So banks got a gig, man. They front load the fuck out of their interest. They want their money up front, and they want almost all of it up front. And then as you keep paying, you'll pay it down. So
yep.
But that being said, the coolest thing about that is over time, your net worth continues to go up.
Yeah.
Okay. So, you want to start thinking about some things like that, guys, especially like, again, if you're making good money, start thinking about some investments, maybe an owner's 401k, especially if you don't have any other business. And especially if you're running a C Corp, it would be great to have an owner's 401k if you're not in any other businesses and if you don't have any employees, because they make you match employee contribution and stuff like that. But literally an owner's 401k, at the end of the year, you can stroke a check for $50,000 and put it in your owner's 401k, and it's tax deductible from your company. Okay. But if you hire employees, you do have to do employee contribution and matching and all that kind of stuff as well, which may be a good thing. Okay. I'm not telling you guys to avoid that route as well. Talk to a financial advisor. That's one thing I am fucking not. But I will tell you a little bit about what I do know. All right.
A little.
That being said, another thing, another key is to what I actually, something that I learned from the richest man in Babylon is pay yourself first. Actually calculate how much money you bring in that specific week and take 5 or 10% of it or 20 or how much ever. You hit a hailstorm, take more than that, and go write a check to yourself and put it in your savings account.
Yes.
Or put it in an investment account. That's the quickest way I've ever accumulated money. Okay. And we weren't good at that early on. Even when we hit big hailstorms, we weren't good at that. We were much younger, and we started doing that principle and just started seeing how much tends to pile up over time. It amazed me. I never thought that we were going to be able to ever save anything, it seemed like at one point.
Yeah.
Until we started doing the pay yourself first principle. The trick is, behind doing this, and I may be preaching to the choir here, but keep in mind there's some people out there, some younger techs or some older techs who are spending every dime they have. You know what I mean? But literally you have to actually get excited about doing it. So you got to feel like it.
And plus it's kind of nice because like in life, we all run into a pickle here and there. So you have that money that can help you out. That's
some sleep well at night money.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And you want to continue doing that. Continue doing it, okay? So, and then that also being said, guys, I mean, I truly believe that you need to set these like goals in your mind, in your head, and you almost got to like feel like the goal has been achieved before you ever even achieve it, okay?
You need to write it down.
Yep.
Stick it up there on a nice little, like on a vision board.
You can stick it on a vision board. You can write it down somewhere you can look at it. You can set it up on your fucking phone to message you. We need to do that.
We've been needing to do that.
We need to recreate our vision board. That's right. And we're actually planning on, I always call that like a creative day with God,
Yeah. I like that.
Yeah, where you're sitting down and you're like figuring out where your vision, where you want to be, how you want to get there. Because the truth of the matter is, if you don't understand like where you want to be in 1 year and 2 years and 5 years, you cannot create a path on how to get there, okay?
Yeah.
So any business coach that starts coaching an individual, the very first thing they usually ask you, if they're a good business coach, is, where do you want to be? What do you want to do? Because if you don't know, and a lot of people, strikingly, they don't know. They don't know. Most people don't even know what they want, okay? But if you don't know what you want and you don't know where you want to be in life, you cannot reconstruct a path that you can reconstruct actions, monthly, weekly, and daily actions that take little bites out of that dinosaur every day to get you there.
Yeah.
And I recommend, don't just make it, monetary, make it relationship-wise. There's something, a book that I read that was talking about the core four. It's like, the mind, body, the spirit, and relationships. What are you doing in that core four? What are you doing on a daily basis to strengthen your relationships? What are you doing on a daily basis to strengthen your mind? How are you sharpening that fucking thing in between your ears? What are you doing for your spiritual side, man? Your spirit, what ignites you? What are you doing to sit down every day and visualizing where you want to be, and feeling that feeling, man. Mm-hmm. There's something about that, guys. I'm telling you, I don't know 100% know what the fuck it is, but there's something about visualizing where you want to be and feeling like you're there, man, and getting that energy pulsating through your blood, your heart, and then hopefully it's strong enough, that energy is strong enough where you get off your fucking ass and do the shit that you need to do to get there. And I truly believe that's what it really breaks down to. Because once you start feeling that, man, once you start feeling where you want to be, you literally, hopefully your muscles take over and get your ass to kick, to get off the fucking couch, throw down that fucking pizza box that you have sitting on your lap and say, fuck this, man, I'm going to go towards my goals. And the next thing is health, that core force, health. What are you doing? How much better can you be while you are super fucking healthy, man, and while you feel good? And not to mention the same mindset that it takes to be a good saver, the same mindset that it takes to systemize your business, the same mindset that it takes to be healthy applies in all three arenas. It's literally you being able to basically have the self-control and the discipline needed to do all of these things, okay?
Yes.
So when you master discipline in one area of your life, you got to apply it to other areas of your life, And so that's what I'm doing now. I believe I got the health thing going pretty good. And there's some areas that I know I've been lacking, for instance, when
you've lost like 7 pounds within the last month.
Yeah.
Might have been a month, a little over a month. You weighed yourself this morning. You weighed, 238?
Yeah.
And you were at 245.
And I changed it because I'm going to be doing 60 days from a couple days ago. I started doing 60 days solid.
Yesterday was day one.
Yeah, yesterday was day one.
Yeah.
And because I actually did about 15 days, but me and her had this great win in our life.
Yeah.
So I decided to eat a chocolate cake at J. Alexander's. So I'm restarting. So instead of doing 45 like I was going to do, I'm upping it to 60.
Yeah.
And, so I didn't drink. I didn't do anything like that. I just had chocolate cake and some fried chicken. Fried chicken tenders.
Yeah.
One meal. All right. I think I was about 15 days into it. So technically it's gonna get close to having that one cheat meal thing, right? And then I decided, I was like, fuck it, I'm going 60 days, 2 months, starting tomorrow. And,
I wish people could see some of the stuff that you say to yourself and the way that you look at yourself in the mirror.
Superman stance.
Yeah. Hey, you should let everybody know about those wonderful underwear that you found.
Oh, the jockeys?
Yeah, because John has went on a kick of finding new underwear, which in all honesty, this is something that has need to happen within the last year.
Now you guys know about my underwear situation.
The last year. And I've been telling him, I'm like, you need some new underwear, okay? You need some new underwear. And finally one day he's like, I really do need some new underwear. And I was like, let's go after we leave the shop. And he's bought a few different brands, and you found these ones at Macy's, and let me
tell you something, guys. It feels like you're walking around fucking naked.
You love them.
Everything just glides. Never do they go up your ass.
No wedgies.
Which is definitely a plus for me, because it seems like every other one that I find was going up my ass eventually.
It was?
You get in a certain situation. Yeah. These things have been crafted somehow to have non-ass penetration guard. They should coin that. We have
what's the name of them? Because they're not
no ass penetration on these underwear whatsoever.
But they're not briefs. They're
Jesus Christ! Should me pull my pants down right now so you can look at it?
No, but they're long. They look like biker shorts.
Yeah, they look like biker shorts. They are tighter. They're a sports deal. Okay, and they're anti-wicking, so they're made out of a material that's anti-wicking. Yeah. These motherfuckers have not creeped up my legs. They haven't went up my ass. I swear that
they make your thighs look amazing, because John's got
right?
John's got really muscular thighs, and the underwear really emphasizes them. I'm just like, damn, baby.
Makes it even better, fellas. Sometimes I like to strut around in them, don't I? Yeah, I was walking around today with my hoodie on, with just them underwear on.
Yeah, you said you were going to go to work like that.
I was like, what if I just came to work like this? You think people would
You're
like
trying to pull him off as biker shorts. I'm like, no.
the trap doors the giveaway.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyhow, yeah, there you go. Now you guys know what kind of underwear I wear. Great.
Yeah, but anybody that is they need new underwear.
Oh man, I'll tell you what, they're almost like, I can't even tell you. It's like gliding on silk. It's like riding a silk horse that is soft.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
You absolutely love them.
But anyhow, guys, just so y'all remember, I think it's called the PDR Finance Group, and a dude who runs it's Jeff Reeb. We really need to get him on the podcast.
Yeah, he's a nice dude.
So Jeff, hit me up, dude. I think we talked about this before. We haven't had a lot of guests on lately. I just haven't been. We haven't really had the time to line up and.
No, we've been selfish. We just want to do all the talking.
Fuck yeah, you don't need to know anybody else but me. All right, everybody. So anyhow, I think that pretty much wraps up the podcast. We just wanted to break down a little bit about systems. Check out the E-Myth Revisit. It is a good book, too. I mean, there is some hocus pocus bullshit, just about like any other book, but most of the book's really, really good. It talks about examples of companies that, even smaller businesses that have stepped out of the realm of the owner actually physically running the place. But if you just take a certain amount of these aspects and apply it to your company, you will be able to give your buyer a better experience, and not to mention systemizing the advertising aspect of it, or the client onboarding aspect of it would be worth its weight in gold, in my opinion.
Yep.
So,
yep.
Anyhow, y'all, and just to give you guys a heads up, I'm going to be doing some live video here soon, because we are going to be building the brand new Power PDR Box e-commerce website.
Ooh.
So, and I've been talking to Dwayne, and we're like, man, let's make this a little bit public. Let's do the build a little bit public. Let's show everybody the back end of the website builder and show everybody, because there's going to be some really cool shit being revealed. I've got so much top secret stuff, I don't really want to say anything, because
really?
I can't remember what's top secret and what's not top secret, but I will tell you when I'm done with the build, we're coordinating something massive.
Well, you're going to tell me.
I told Dwayne I wouldn't tell anybody.
No, you're going to tell me.
So
he won't get mad.
But anyhow, y'all, I just want to give you guys a heads up on that, because I will be doing some I just want to get in there, do some live videos, show you guys what actually goes in on the back end, the infrastructure of some of our building, and just want to let you guys check it out, see how legit it is.
Yeah, it's too legit to quit.
Yeah. So
hey.
Anyhow, y'all, we appreciate you, and as usual, we're going to see you on that next one.
Yes, and remember, it's all about the motherfucking hustle.
Bang, bang.
That's mine.
Pew, pew.
Mine's bang, bang.
Tweet, tweet.